If you want to follow the history of the Justice League, it actually starts not even with the Justice League, it starts with the Justice Society. The Justice Society featured a lot of the characters that existed in the 1940s and brought them all together in one big story. It was more a club and an organization than a superhero team, and it was more about sharing adventures than actually going on adventures together. Then you flash forward to the late 50s, early 60s when the Silver Age of comics is starting. They're reintroducing these new interpretations of our characters. So it only seemed to follow suit that the next interpretation of the Justice Society is a new group, and this was called the Justice League. It was a smash hit.
Brave and the Bold number 28, Justice League number 1. Been around since 1960. What is that? Carry the One, like a long time. They've been around a long, long time. They came together because there's a giant starfish called Starro. That was the big threat.
So you start to see Justice League now becoming an integral portion of the DC universe. So Justice League becomes the book where all characters seem to appear. So if there's one comic you're supposed to buy, that was the one. My personal favorites of those stories are the ones where they go out and try to convince new characters to join the team. The Atom joins later, Green Arrow joins later. They go out there and they search out characters like Zatanna. They offer the position to Metamorpho. He turns them down because he doesn't want to be a hero. And they keep on introducing new characters.
The thing that really did it for me was the run of stories that Len Wein wrote in the 70s, which were just really great adventures. What he would do, it wouldn't be an adventure would finish and then there'd be a new one. There would be a new one, but there was plot threads that ran through it, so it was very much like television today where we have an individual episode, but there are massive plot threads that run through and play out and mysteries that you have to think about and solve. So his Justice League for me was real inspiration.
And then they did Crisis on Infinite Earths, which is the most famous comic book storyline by George Perez and Mark Wolfman. Crisis came out in the mid-'80s.
All the DC heroes, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Hawkman, Green Lantern, Flash, etc., 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 you can go on forever, were all created between 1938 and 1941. Almost 50 years later, the best characters have been continuing. Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman were published non-stop. Some of those characters are starting to get older. They don't feel as modern anymore. We needed something to make them special again. Also, DC was too confusing for new readers. He had a strange continuity. We had this multiverse of different planets filled with multiple versions of the superheroes. You didn't know who all the characters were. And my pitch was, let's start with getting rid of the multiverse. Let's bring it down to our basic characters. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, one of each. Let's think about what works and what doesn't work, and how can we make it work now for 1985?
When End of Crisis came out, they relaunched a lot of titles, Superman and Wonder Woman and Flash, but also Justice League with Giffen DeMatteis and Kevin Maguire. It was not the usual team you saw, and the tone of it was funny. There was a lot of humor to it. It was this weird mix of characters, and from the outside, it was like, oh wow, they're trying to do something new. It was wonderful, and people really liked it. They were kind of going against the trend of grim and gritty comics. It was a great take on the team, and it was cool to see these strange characters together that we'd never seen come together and form the Justice League. And so for years and years and years, the Justice League was never the Big Seven, as they called them.
Then you flash forward to Midsummer's Nightmare, which is really a standalone, independent story. And that's the first time you see the Seven interacting again. And lo and behold, the reaction from the fan base is very strong.